Hi, this is Scott Geitler from Blue Water Photo, and today we're going to talk about the exciting new Nikon D7100 crop sensor DSL camera. The Nikon D7000 has been out for a few years, and we have been anxiously awaiting either a D7100 or, as many of our customers have been waiting for, the D400. Well, they didn't get a D400, they got a D7100, and the D7100 looks amazing. First of all, it has 24 megapixels, which is a bump up from 16. That's about a 20-22% increase in pixels on the length and the width. It goes up from just under 5,000 pixels across on the D7000 to 6,000 pixels across on the D100. So you are getting a little more resolution. Nikon is really pushing the limits of their sensors in terms of how small they can make the pixels, but so far every camera it's worked great. To squeeze out a little more detail, they have completely removed what's called an Alias Filter from the camera that did a slight amount of blurring. Nikon probably feels that this filter is no longer needed, that they can do any changes needed in software, which is great. So you have a new camera with more megapixels, which I think macro photographers will notice this the best. I'm not sure if underwater, shooting through water, if you'll be able to see that extra detail with wide-angle lenses, but we will find out. The biggest change to me is in the autofocus, because I had a D300, and when I moved to the D7000 I felt like the autofocus was not as good. Now there's a new 51-point autofocus system built into the D7100, and in addition they have this one low light sensor in the center that is supposed to be very good at focusing in low light. So hopefully for low light conditions underwater, for macro with the 60 to 105mm lens, the D7100 will be a nice improvement over the D7000. This is, to me, what I'm hoping is the best feature of this new camera. It also has a great new feature called a 1.3x crop mode. Now, you can always take an image and crop it in post-processing. The nice thing about an in-camera crop mode is that you actually see the cropped image in the viewfinder. That's the focus mode. Focus points are on the new cropped image. The video's on the cropped image, so it's really a nice feature for getting a little extra reach with all your lenses, and I think it'll be really useful for the Nikon 10-17 when you have a fish or shark that's not that close, that you want to get that little extra reach with your lens. It'll help to have that 1.3x crop mode, and you're still getting 15 megapixels, which is way more than almost anyone needs for a photo. So the 1.3 crop mode is going to be a really useful feature. I think people are going to be using a lot. It has some improvements to the auto ISO feature, which people probably don't use enough, especially for topside sports and wildlife photography. Generally, when you have a zoom lens, like say the 80-400 or 200-400 zoom lens, you want to use faster shutter speeds for longer zoom lengths. So their new auto ISO feature allows you to set faster shutter speed limits for longer zooms. I think it'll be really nice for bird photography and for wildlife photography and sports. It has a new spot white balance feature, which could be very useful for video shooters. Instead of using the whole screen for video, you can designate just a center spot. And it has other great improvements in video, like an uncompressed HDMI video output. So overall, I've considered the Nikon D7000 the top choice for a great overall DSLR value macro wide angle camera. It's been falling off a little bit because it is about 3 years old, and with the D7100 coming out, I expect this to be the most popular choice for everyone except the most serious wide angle shooters who are really looking for that extra dynamic range, and will probably get the D800 or the 5D Mark III, and it's going to be hard to beat the 5D Mark III for a low noise, high ISO, great dynamic range performance for wide angle. So that's all. We hope the housings are coming out soon. Once we get the camera in hand, we'll give you a complete review, and check in at bluewaterphotostore.com for updates. Thanks.